You find yourselves in unprecedented times, as you will no doubt be perceiving your current time period and circumstances. Yet from the third dimensional perspective, this is indeed accurate and true. From the soul level, the inner knowing, the DNA templated codices that are activated and online within you, your current time period is a time period which you have indeed experienced before in other time periods and upon other planetary and other star systems, if you will. Whilst you incarnated into physical form for a myriad of reasons, for each of you has the celestial astrological convergence as a life plan or blueprint. Ultimately, those we call wanderers, starseeds, lightworkers, map makers and grid workers incarnated for your current time period that you experience in your now moment. You now sit within the eye of the storm, if you will, or indeed that which we would present as 3 days of darkness. Timeline fluctuations are now at the speed of cohesive thought, creating instantaneous manifestations from the cohesive group or collective mind. It is not what is going to happen next that is the question, but what can you create? We repeat, it is not what is going to happen next that is the question, but what can you create? You exist within a 0-point field that has manifested literally upon your planet in the form of a planetary shutdown or lockdown of your social infrastructure. We have presented our informations and our transmissions to our conduit Magenta Pixie as to how this shutdown of social infrastructure occurred. Whilst it is important to know the logistics and specifics so you may be informed, especially when those that have had control of your planet are masters in the presentation of confusion and do not give information in a way that allows the people of Earth to make informed decisions, the most important and significant information that we can give to you at this time is that which shall trigger you into action. We mean action of consciousness that holds reality timelines in place. This is the arena where the battle is being fought, if you will. And indeed, this is more akin to a martial arts combat rather than a battle or a fight. What is occurring on your planet now is polarity playing out as it upgrades from its extreme dark light, evil good, devil angel or fear love presentations into a polarity that is equal in its coded form and its resulting manifestation, that of love and light, if you will, polarized but complementary. The birthing of the new polarity dimension is that which is most interesting, most observed, and most unknown, for it is a place of pure creation, as it is 0 point. All eyes are on Earth at this point in time, if you will, to observe how the polarity disintegration and reintegration plays out. This involves multiple timelines coming together as a convergence core point within the timelines. Currently, in your current time period, your most probable timeline for Earth holds a diamond core template that we would refer to as paradise. This is presented as a destination or place. For this is indeed truth when it comes to galactic and celestial manifestation of consciousness as reality domains. Those we refer to as service to self have held for millennia on your planet the timeline with the iron core template that would be akin to Armageddon, also a reality domain, yet this exists fourth dimensionally only as an echo that plays out in its repeated cycles. This is known within other ascension reality models on your planet as positive harvest or negative harvest. This is the creation of a reality domain that can be lived within or reincarnated into. It is confusing for many of you to understand how each individual creates its own unique timeline or reality domain, but this is indeed the case. Your thoughts create your reality, as we have said so many times within our transmissions. So too do your collective thoughts create collective and global reality. And this is that which takes literal centre stage upon your planet at your current time period. The service to self individuals use all the magical arts at their disposal to attempt to create the Armageddon Iron Core template for their timeline and reality domain, known as a negatively polarized dimension or a negative harvest. They do this through anchoring and holding fear and siphoning that fear, uncertainty, and panic like adrenaline-fueled states of consciousness and despair emotional states from the unsuspecting humanity at large. The core structure of the dark inverted matrix, black box, red spider configuration has been fully dismantled. So they hold on to the few backup generators they have left and the siphoned fear from humanity in order to bring cohesion to the timeline, reality domain, or harvest. They do this because if they do not do this, their entire reality will be recycled, if you will. In truth, this is an actual disintegration of that consciousness and that reality. Thought creates reality, and they project as much service to self energetic as they can to continually hold the Iron Core Armageddon template as their timeline. This translates upon your physical dimension as a plan for world domination, a new world order agenda, and full control of humanity. The service to self individuals believe it is their destiny, their cause, and their right to create this future reality for your planet Earth. They believe this, for they have been given this information from non-physical beings who exist as the Armageddon frequency themselves. They are the living essence of the Iron Core. This is a necessary aspect to polarization that gives rise ultimately to creation itself through the free will and choice of the Creator's holographic aspects of itself, humanity, or whichever species holds the DNA template. This polarized reality plays out over and over and over within multiple streams of existence and realities. Hence the reason why you have done this before. Yet each time the polarity upgrade takes place, it is in itself unique. What is occurring on Earth at your current point is even more unique, as Earth is a daughter planet, if you will, to the divine sacred mother planet that existed in other realities and timelines within your solar system. The male aspect to this was Marduk, and the female aspect Tiamat. They stand as Christos and Sophia, the king and queen, as Logos creators of your galactic reality. Earth and her peoples, humanity, are the beloved daughter. She is the Princess Aurora, daughter of the flame. Created literally from the soil and stars of that which was once the shining jewel of your galaxy, Tiamat. Your planet Earth is none other than Gaia, known also as Green Tara, the jeweled lady of the galactic lake. Riches abound amongst your earth, your geology, your consciousness, your blood and bone, and your DNA. Creation of an entire new galactic reality is in itself in the making. The birthing is not limited to your planet alone. This is a celestial, galactic, and full source expression upgrade. You are the anchors. The timeline that is the most probable for your planet is the diamond core template that is paradise. This is a utopian reality held at the highest point, allowing for the codes of Utopia, Nirvana, Agartha, Eden, and Paradise to manifest in actual physicality. This is the Ascension timeline and is also known as the Positive Harvest. The creation of the 5th dimension, Golden Age on Earth, or what you may also know as Positive 4th Density. Each of you who hold the knowing of the Paradise Diamond Core template as a future timeline, within the crystalline knowing of self within, hold the creational thought to hold that timeline. We repeat, each of you who hold the knowing of the Paradise Diamond Core template as a future timeline, within the crystalline knowing of self within, hold the creational thought to hold that timeline. You do not have to work hard at this, for your Paradise timeline is an organic one. It does not have to be created from that perspective. It is already in place as an infinite structure. It has never been taken from you, only obscured by the red spider's web or black box net, a false inverted quarantine surrounding your planet as an electromagnetic grid that is no more. The removal of this web or net allowed for the great reveal. The reveal of the true, organic, infinite reality that is the Diamond Core template. This is manifested in physicality as the iron core structure at the center of your planet becomes a diamond core. We repeat, the iron core structure at the center of your planet becomes a diamond core. All that occurs in the non-physical realms is mirrored, matched, and manifested in the physical realms. As above, so below. The work undertaken by the service to self individuals is intense, continuous, and draining. The focus must be maintained regularly through the black arts and dark magic in order to maintain the Iron Core Armageddon template, which is a created, unnatural, and artificial intelligence construct. The core black box generator was indeed most powerful, so much so that the continuous focus was maintained through that which you may know as planetary rings or satellites. However, now that the core has been dismantled, only the emotional siphoning of the people, humanity, is powering the Iron Core template. As the core has now been dismantled as a generator, so too has the core of the timeline been dismantled. This means the focus is not enough to hold that reality, that which you know as planetary and world domination and New World Order, in place. However, there is from the nexus point that delivers this transmission, your now moment, still the negative backup generators in place. And for this reason, those of the light and service to others polarization will be called to continue to hold the space for the Paradise timeline through creational light templates of unconditional love, compassion, and the deliverance of light codes from one human point to another. That is, one human being to another. This is that which you call disclosure, or some of you may call this red pilling, using a DNA trigger pictorial scene from an entertainment creation text known, most appropriately, as the Matrix. This is that which we mean by deliverance of light codes. These come in from galactic core memory and crystalline DNA activation, yet so too are they delivered from one incarnated human to another, as your third-dimensional structure and reality mirrors, matches and manifests that of the celestial space-time and non-physical antimatter realities. You hold fast the Paradise Diamond Core template into the Ascension timeline through your knowing, your joy, bliss, hope, unity through togetherness, and ultimately love. Allow your heart chakras to shine as beacons, for it is of more import now than ever before that you add your power, your empowerment within, and your light to the creation of the Ascension timeline. It is you and your work that has brought you thus far into this manifested reality. And it is you and your work that shall hold that paradisical light as the final dismantling of the Dark Lord's hold is achieved. The Ascension timeline exists infinitely, but from your perspective, you create it. It is indeed time for celebratory rushes of emotion and collective joy. As the match is won, if you will, you cheer within the crowd, and indeed this is the emotion that assures the creation you most rightly deserve. Yet hold fast to humility and compassion, even to your brethren who took the dark path. For many were victims in many ways many of you cannot fully comprehend. This is the reason we liken this, that shall transpire, as a martial arts combat. Respect is given to the opponent rather than the uncontrolled paradigm that holds retribution and revenge. Indeed, it is the element of forgiveness that is the highest challenge for many of you. Yet forgiveness is like a laser-powered silver stream into the Diamond Core template. It is forgiveness powered itself by the higher golden stream that is justice. When these are bound together as one, forgiveness and justice, without retribution, revenge or disempowerment, this creates the rose gold stream, the rose gold flame that is global and planetary-wide healing. It is the rose gold flame that you hold within your hands now, children of Gaia. The rose gold flame is a trinity configuration, and this is the element, through a merge of numerology and archetypal symbology, that carries you through the 0-point manifested experience of planetary lockdown into the freedom of the new world. The presentation of planetary lockdown holds the energetic frequency of 3 days of darkness. In its ultimate expression, this is not a literal presentation. We have delivered the codices of this time to you in previous transmissions, yet we could not impart to you until this time nexus the codices of the 3 days of darkness. This is due to that which you may know as divine timing, which is interpreted within your physical dimension as not presenting the configurations of the game or plan to those who would use technologies to view your consciousness streams and thus future realities. The 3 days of darkness presentation is now in a place of safety, if you will, for viewing it will not change its inevitability. The reason for this is that it is upon you. It is upon you now. Your time nexus in your now time period is that which we present as 3 days of darkness. We look here at 3 sections of time. This may indeed be engineered or created as a magical act by those who understand the merge of numerology and archetypal symbology as 3 literal days, or 3 literal weeks, or 3 literal months. Yet it is not the literal we present here, for the convergence of timelines do not present absolutes. This is regarding the creational path, the creational period, and the creational moment of retreat, hiatus, or hermit's path. The global lockdown, where you remain predominantly within your physical dwellings. It is at this time you retreat within and move into the implosion of self that creates and activates stargates upon your planetary sphere and within your electromagnetic energetic makeup. The 3 days of darkness is 3 separate sections of time, but indeed also 3 separate sections of space as fractal space within. We have presented the silver, gold and rose gold threads or flames. This can also be presented as 3 realities, dimensional worlds or domains. As the space aspect of the 3 days of darkness, as a period of time, as in time and space are simply different sides of the same coin. So the space aspect is presented as the 3-world split. We have spoken of this before through our conduit. You are aware of the 2-world split presented as 3rd dimension and 5th dimension, or indeed service to self and service to others. The 3-world split joins the 4th dimension into the model used. Yet this can move upwards through the Excalibur Codex vertical pillar of light or vertical axis as 3 sections as dimensions. 1 section as 3rd, 4th and 5th, the 2nd section as 6th, 7th and 8th, and the 3rd section as 9th, 10th and 11th. This presents an 11th dimensional model, which is simply given as a trigger in order for you to begin new crystalline downloads from the Trinity Core diamond templates presented as silver, gold and rose gold. It is no accident that the 3 days of darkness and 3-world split present Trinity codices through 11th dimensional expansion at the time you know as Easter within your biblical texts. You have the crucifixion, the entombment and the resurrection. Through the numerological and archetypal symbology, this becomes the manifested pattern of your current nexus point, now time reality. The darkness within this point is your retreat within, moving not outwards into light, but inwards into darkness. This is where information and downloads are received from the source within, as opposed to the source without. The physical reality may mirror this pattern through the fractal reality codes in a myriad of ways. It is the darkness that thus gives rise to the light. The darkness is the retreat, the processing time, and the entombment. In the life of the caterpillar emerging as butterfly, it is the cocoon. Many starseeds and lightworkers have been through this expression already within this lifetime. Now you enter this expression collectively as a planetary system, as a planetary people. This is 0 point. It is at this time that you manifest Trinity codes as trilocational consciousness and the manifested physical reality of the 3-world split. You have Cabal, Deep State, Illuminati as one world. You have Alliance, White Hats, Patriots, Light Workers as a second world, and you have humanity as the third world if you look at this presentation as a social infrastructure. As you move forward into this Trinity three-world split creation, you have a reconstruction from control to freedom world, which may contain a transhumanism aspect depending on how the service to self groups negotiate the forgiveness justice templates. You have a technological and financial system that presents as co-creation and opportunity for growth. And you have the spiritually attuned, consciously ascending individuals who may experience physical three-world split in a myriad of different creations and expressions. So too do you have a three-world split through the polarization of humanity. You have seen tangible evidence of service to others and service to self. At the time of the three-world split, there shall be those who are polarized neutral, able to work through both service to self and service to others as either or, expression of both, or observer. These individuals are rare in the sense that they are very much in the minority in number. They are not unpolarized or in the process of polarizing. They are fully polarized within the neutral polarity. They are called from the place of 0 point, and they are stepping forward now upon your planet in order to hold and keep balance. It is at the point of completion of a planet that these individuals and groups make themselves known. Only when one polarity attempts to overbalance the other polarity does the neutral polarity show itself. This has occurred through the service to self attempt at planetary takeover and population reduction. Even whilst the service to self factions were themselves divided on this issue, hence the forgiveness justice templates are much needed. The service to self individuals will no doubt attempt to negotiate these forgiveness justice templates and legalities that surround them, but that is outside of this particular transmission. The neutral polarized individuals therefore enter with an agenda to rebalance the system and the social structure. They do this through offering assistance to the service to others polarity. By their offering of rebalancing, they assist in creating the new polarization for your planet, which is indeed a new density of existence. These neutrally polarized individuals offer not domination or control, but co-creation and opportunity. However, necessary though their roles may be, they are not service to others polarized, and do not in and of themselves hold the Paradise timeline. Neither do they hold the Armageddon timeline. They hold balance. Their presence is to recreate that balance through the creation of reconstruction architecture to the planetary system. This can manifest within the physical dimension in a myriad of ways, but in the majority of cases, this is technological. This may appear to be artificial intelligence, which indigo and crystal individuals are coded to reject. However, in certain cases, this is needed to keep balance within a planetary system prior to the final stages of ascension. As we have said before, there is negative artificial intelligence and positive artificial intelligence, and indeed neutral artificial intelligence. You will be called to continue to fine-tune your intuition even as you take your steps into the new world. For dismantling of the old system and creation of the new is not undertaken overnight, even whilst the energetic shifts and solar pulses are instantaneous. So we present to you now the 13 days that make up that which we call 3 days of darkness, dark night of the soul, end of days, or indeed the entombment of the Christ or crystalline energy, giving rise to a worldwide, planetary-wide, galactic-wide burst of rose gold, intense light codes, birthed from the merged silver and gold flames. The sign of the Trinity shall be emblazoned across the skies at this time, and you shall hear the cries within of, "Follow that star." We repeat, the sign of the Trinity shall be emblazoned across the skies at this time, and you shall hear the cries within of, "Follow that star." It is the time that those of the light feel they are truly called home. And that home they are called to is the creation of the higher crystalline grid upon your earth, and the creation of your earth into Gaia, her higher form, as she stands as the beloved daughter of Tiamat. The 13 days within your Easter period begin with the Fool's Journey on April the 1st and end upon Easter Monday, the 13th of April 2020, which shall herald the unveiling and present the great reveal. Each day within these 13 days shall be giant leaps for mankind, if you will, as quantum leaps sevenfold beyond that of linear time. We speak here of the growth of consciousness as you create the new world. You are each and every one of you wizards. You stand in magic. You are each and every one of you priests and priestesses. You are keepers of the sacred wisdom. And you are healers of the Most High as you deliver the sacred rose. Broadcast the signal that is the rose gold flame to the world. This brings you into the formation of the square, the tetragrammaton within, and adds the fourth corner to that geometric pattern, that of the architect. When you hold the pattern and code of the architect, you stand beyond the Trinity, embracing the three-world split as one unified world. The architect can be walked within the God complex, as the Atlantean masters and service-to-self cabal deep state have embodied for thousands of your Earth years. Or the architect can be walked with humility, forgiveness, justice templates in place, with the Excalibur Codex in full activation. This is the path of integrity and sovereignty. This is the path of the Starseeds, Wayshowers, Lightworkers and Wanderers. To walk the path of the Architect of Light, holding self-empowerment as a construct, not power as a God-complex entity. The path laid before you within these 13 days is a challenge. Yet you are called to this challenge. You are equipped for this challenge, and you will be successful. For it is written, it is in place, so shall it be, and so it is. In divine, humble service, we are the white-winged collective consciousness of 9. What is karma? Are there ways we can balance this and become karma-free? Is there a particular nutritional plan we should follow for ascension? Do we increase our karmic balance by eating certain foods? How can we utilize sex magic to work with karma and move through ascension? There are many lessons we can learn from the peoples of ancient Lemuria, a civilization that existed before our known history on planet Earth. As we move through an ascension process collectively, we move back into a new Lemuria, and we take with us all the knowledge we have accumulated since those times. In this transmission from the white-winged collective consciousness of 9, key codes are presented for cellular memory recall, linking the reader beyond Atlantis and into the harmonious frequencies of the first physical civilization on the Earth, Lemuria. The 9 respond to questions using the Lemurian way as a template. Key-coded responses trigger activations within the reader as they receive the wisdom codes, standing as rainbow warriors of Gaia, moving into abundance, alchemy, and Stargate ascension. This transmission is dear to my heart, and I'm so very pleased to announce my new book, Lessons from a Living Lemuria. In this transmission from the white-winged collective consciousness of 9, I, Magenta Pixie, bring forward information specific to utilising the rose gold flame as antidote to 5G, EMFs, chemicals, chemtrails, and similar. The presented template utilises the Schumann resonance, and the technique is alchemical unification. In this book, the 9 discuss synchronicity, discernment skills, and understanding of discordance and disharmony within truth and lightworker communities. They present a workable model of expression, assisting the spiritual explorer in creating a necessary toolkit. This allows the individual to construct a shield, bringing safety, harmony, expansion, and cohesive sovereignty into their own personal reality and their matrix field. I am pleased to present my new short book, The Black Box Program and the Rose Gold Flame as Antidote.